It's Monday night, 7 o'clock, and it's time for Knightline Live, brought to you by our good friends from Astro Industry up in Lynn. If you're looking for a job or maybe just a part-time job to supplement your income, call our good friends up at Astro Industry in Lynn, and hopefully they can help you out. I'm Jerry Middleton. With me, as usual, is Rick Fletcher. And Rick, it was a hot one today.
Yeah, summer has come back. It's going to be in the 90s this week, Jerry.
Lordy.
We had some great fall weather, but I guess, what do you call it, Indian summer? Summer's still officially here, by the way.
Summer's still here.
But, yeah, it's going back to hot weather. It could be in the 90s, so that's going to take a toll on somebody. It might be you and me.
It's taking a toll on me, I'll tell you that.
All right, what do we got on tap tonight? Well, we're going to talk about football.
Yep.
Knights are 4-0. Part of that talk is going to center on a lineman's dream. Okay, so we're going to discuss that a little bit. Volleyball team, they're 11-2. They got a big week coming up this week, starting tonight.
Tough week.
Yeah, tough week. And so we're going to learn a lot about our Lady Knights volleyball team this week. And if you get a chance, come on out to see them. But we'll get into that when we discuss volleyball. And there's a new superintendent in town, a new sheriff.
A new sheriff.
We're going to have new superintendent Jennifer O'Brien is going to be our guest tonight, and we're going to talk about everything we can under the sun with her. And as we do with the school officials, Jerry, the hot lamp goes on. Okay, and we'll get. We're hard reporters here. We'll get to the truth.
That's
okay?
right. We'll break it down.
You can count on us. Well, as it's football season, NFL football season, and what do we normally like to do? Talk about some teams of interest. All right.
Mm-hmm.
How about them Colts? I mean, 2-0.
It's a leverage play, Rick. It's just total leverage.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it, the guy that they called on, he said, "I did it."
Yeah.
And the Bronco fans are going crazy over it, but he said he did it, and then they had that chance to re-kick, and Colts win.
Yeah, well, that's the way it goes. These games are close in the NFL. The games are close usually. And how about the quarterback play? Who's Peyton Manning? Does anybody remember when he played? I tell you, that guy, Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes is his name. He's a Hall of Famer.
I told you the other day, you give me a quarterback, it gets me 8-yard completions on average, and I'm a happy guy.
And it seems like that's what the Colts coaching staff is doing for him. They're putting him in a comfort zone, and he's performing. So
then we go to the flip side.
Oh, we got the Bengals. Still, they're 2-0.
They're 2-0, but they've also got a stubbed toe now.
Oh, stubbed toe. They lost Joe Burrow, their superstar quarterback that has led them to glory in the past, and he could be gone for 3 months.
Oh,
But the good news is for the Bengals, I think they have maybe an adequate backup. You don't know, all right? He's a backup for a reason. But they still have all those offensive weapons. So hopefully that'll carry them. Maybe they can, kind of tread water to maybe when Joe Burrow gets back. But never good to see your starting quarterback go down.
Well, and then the Bears take a shellacking.
A shellacking. The defense was nowhere to be found on Sunday for the Bears. So, they go to 0-2, right? I think they're 0-2, so familiar territory for them.
Well, and then the Patriots, the sun came up.
Yes, 1-1 for my Pats. Victory is sweet, especially when they're few. Okay, so when you're struggling to be, all I want as a Patriot fan, if you get down into like 2 or 3 weeks left and you're in the hunt, you know how they do that? Who's in, who's out, and who's in the hunt? I just got to be in the hunt. Give me that in the hunt. So
in the hunt, here's something. I'm going to segue right into that. Our new sponsor.
Yes, we do have a new sponsor. And who is that, Jerry?
Is L&S Lumber, Hardware, and Supply in Greens Fork. And we've got their commercial, and we'll be running it here. So if you're out and about, go to our good friend. Hey, Rick, it's like an old-time hardware store.
Exactly what it is. And I went down there. I visited the folks down there at L&S Lumber. They got a beautiful facility.
Yep.
And whatever you need. Typical lumberyard.
And people that know what they're talking about, you're not looking around in the furnace aisle for someone to help you in plumbing.
Yeah, exactly.
So
welcome aboard L&S Lumber in Greens Fork, and I appreciate their sponsorship. And these our sponsors, Jerry. We couldn't be more pleased with the sponsorship we get, not just for this program, but for all the things that we do. And our empire is growing, as you know. The empire is growing.
Well, and now of course fall is getting close. When the fall gets close, well, that means archery.
Yeah, archery is right around the corner. Let's spend a minute talking about this. And, I think they start in October. But I'll tell you, Brian Richmond and his coaching staff with archery, they do a tremendous job. The last couple of years, they've had between 60 and 70 kids between middle school and high school on their archery team, and Jerry, that's tremendous. When you have that many kids participating, and if you've ever been to a meet or a practice, Brian, they run a very tight ship.
And you got to.
Yeah, you have to when you're dealing with weaponry, okay?
Yeah.
But they do a tremendous job with that archery program. They do all their meets, and then they go to the Louisville for a national tournament and that type of thing, or a state tournament in Indianapolis. And they've got great results. But you got to be pleased, at least from my perspective, very pleased with how they run that and the results they have.
Absolutely.
And the beauty is everybody makes the team.
Yep.
Okay, you come. They'll teach you how to shoot that bow and arrow, and everybody's on the team. Now, not everybody qualifies to the end, but you are on the team, and it gives kids who aren't going to play a different sport or another sport or another activity, it gives them a place to go. You belong to a team. The camaraderie is absolutely fantastic between these kids, and gives you something to that you can achieve. And my opinion, Jerry, kids need goals.
Yes.
Okay, they need some structure with goals, and and they need to be able to at least to attempt to achieve those goals. Just like any other sport, we talk a lot about sports.
Yep.
Okay, but just like any other sport, this will give you something to shoot for. So.
Absolutely, and a team with some lofty goals right now is that girls golf team.
Yeah.
Finished second in the Tri-Eastern Conference the other day at their golf match.
Yeah, I think that was actually today.
Oh, yeah, it was today.
Yeah,
I think it was.
I think it was today. Maybe not, but whenever that was.
I think it was Friday.
Friday.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was Friday.
I'm sorry. Whenever that was,
Yep.
the young lady Knights, they finished second in that tournament. So, congratulations to them. There's another guy, Brian Whistler. He's not, he runs a great program. Now, let's face it, the publicity goes to football and basketball, and that's just normal, okay? Because that's kind of the revenue sports. But I will tell you, when we had the girls golfers on here for the senior day, we asked them, do you want people to show up at your matches? And most of them said, well, we'd rather be out there by ourselves. So I think it'd be great if just for a tournament, you get out there and you circle the 18th green as they come down and give them a big cheer.
It looked like Pebble Beach.
Yeah, and so if that could happen, get out there and support the Lady Knights. But congratulations.
Yep.
So their sectional's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up soon.
Yeah, they're probably one of the first ones to go.
Yes.
As far as sectional play. We'll get the dates for that, but that's soon. So their season is moving on.
Yeah, and then girls cross country continue to do what they do. They're either first or they're second.
Yeah, no, they had a meet. Where was this meet, Jeff?
At Monroe Central. And I believe it was 10 or 12 teams, and they finished second to Jay County, and they were only out of there by like 9 points. So you're
Yeah.
talking a position here
Yeah.
or a blocker here, and suddenly you win.
Yeah, we
So-
learned something about cross country and what happens in the woods, don't we?
That's right.
When I sent you that video and you looked at that, confirming what we were,
Confirming what we were told by the boys.
yeah, by the boys, that there could be some rough stuff out there in the woods, out of eyesight of the spectators and the officiating crew, if there is one. But, really the girls here, you just think
Yeah.
2 to 3 years ago, they couldn't field the team.
Yeah, they couldn't fill the team.
Yeah. Now they have plenty of girls running, and they're getting great accomplishments. So congratulations to them.
Boys cross country comes in fourth, which was a good result for them. They came in fourth behind Monroe Central, Delta, and Wapahani.
Okay.
So 3 pretty good cross country schools. So a fourth place finish. I talked to Tyler Hotsettler and said that he was absolutely thrilled with a fourth place finish.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now their meets are typically on Saturday,
Yep.
and I saw the temperature on Saturday is going to be 90.
Yeah, it's going to be a little warm.
So hey, hydrate.
Hydrate.
You got to hydrate.
Well, I think that's it for the pre-warm-up.
Yeah.
When we come back, we'll have the new superintendent of Northeastern Wayne Schools, Superintendent Jennifer O'Brien, and you're watching Knightline Live. At Kate's Family Eye Care, we value a family-friendly atmosphere, offering high-quality eye exams. Our expert staff utilizes the latest techniques in eye care. We have a large selection of affordable glasses that are unique to our area. We are proud supporters of the Northeastern Knights and wish all the teams the best of luck.
Go Knights!
When the professional's vehicle gets sick, they go to All Around Auto Repair and Sales, located in Fountain City. Their SAE certified technicians work on foreign, domestic, and those fun diesels. Work van not feeling good? Or maybe the family car? And don't forget about the weekend warrior. Go to All Around Auto, 408 US 27 Fountain City. It's good medicine for your car.
Looking for some good local barbecue? Well, look no further because Ann and the Pigs has arrived. We got tips, ribs, chicken, and our fan favorite, pulled pork sundae. You hungry yet? Well, check out our website at annandthepigs.com to find out where our truck is located next. And if you miss our truck, don't worry, you can cater with us year-round by using our website as well. Ann and the Pigs, bringing tasty where it's needed.
Do you have a big event coming up soon? Dejo Photos has you covered. Check us out on Facebook. We are professional photographers who strive to capture all of your special moments, such as family portraits, senior photos, live action sports, graduations, and so much more. If you don't think photos are important, wait until they are all you have left. Contact us via email at info@dejophotos.com or call us at 765-277-0047. Dejo Photos, capturing memories one photo at a time.
Welcome back to Knightline Live, brought to you by Astro Industries. And again, I'm Jerry Middleton and Rick Fletcher. And Rick, I tell you what, you don't get royalty in the house too often. You don't get, the boss. You don't get
The big dog.
the big dogs in the house. But I'll tell you what, me personally,
yeah.
I think this person is going to do an excellent job here.
All right.
What little I've known and seen so far, I am super excited.
All right. Why don't you make an introduction to our audience, Jerry?
Well, we'd like to welcome new superintendent Jennifer O'Brien. Jennifer, thanks for showing up.
Jerry and Rick, thank you for having me.
Well, all right, we talked a little bit off the air, so let's start with your background. I mean, you've been in education, I'm assuming, for a bit, all right? So talk about your path. How did you get here to this job right here?
Well, first and foremost, I think for the record, I need to let you know that I am a Bengals fan.
Okay,
So,
well, you just lost your quarterback.
So I know. So, but just so you're aware.
Well, it was a good year.
Yeah, both games. Yeah. So I'm originally from Wayne County. I graduated from Richmond High School. I originally I graduated from college from Indiana State with a degree in criminology and psychology. I worked in various places, including Dunn Center, which is now Centerstone, and decided to go back and get my teaching license. This is my 25th year in education. I've been a teacher. I've taught special ed, high ability grades. I think the lowest grade I've taught is 3rd up through 8th grade. So after that, I became a building principal. I did that for several years. Then I worked as a human resources officer for about 7 years. Then I was assistant superintendent and interim superintendent at Richmond. I came to Northeastern 4 years ago. I was assistant principal at the elementary. It was my semi-retirement gig. A lot of fun. I loved it. I still miss it very much. And I was asked, a couple times about considering the assistant superintendent position, but I was just having too much fun at the elementary. But then, I decided that there was a need, and that if I could help in a bigger capacity, that's what I needed to do. So I accepted the position as assistant superintendent. I did that for 1 whole week before the superintendent.
Barely enough time to get trained.
For the superintendent told everyone that he would be leaving, and so I filled in as interim superintendent. And then last week, the board approved me to be superintendent. So I'm very excited.
Well, there's one thing here that I hear is how well-rounded you are in the education. Because I'll tell you what, a lot of it's step, and special education all the way up, building principal, that's a well-rounded, and I think that's why you get it.
I do have a question. So what was interesting to me, Jennifer, when criminology, psychology, so you jumped into education. What was the impetus to make that jump into education?
Well, I was about a month away from going to law school.
Okay.
And then I decided that was a really big loan, and do I really want to spend that much money? So I decided against it. But I mean, there are things from that have helped me, along the way. So no regrets.
And all right, so there's kind of 2 tracks when you talk about education for, education professionals. There's the teaching track, and you made that jump from teaching to principals to administration. So, what was that like for you to make that jump from I call it one, it's not necessarily, you're all on the same team, okay, but from one side from the teaching to the administrative side?
I think the biggest thing for me, I never aspired to be a principal or aspired to be a superintendent. I've just always kind of followed the path and to go where I'm needed. And so, people ask me, well, are you going to stay around? Are you, I'm not looking, like I said, there was a need. I'm very excited about it. I'm very honored to have this position, but I'm not looking for the next career advancement. And
your roots are in Wayne County.
They're in Wayne County, and I love it here. So you better get used to me because I'm going to be around for a while.
Well, there you go, Jerry.
Well, let me tell you what, she'll be here longer than I will be. I'm here to tell you that.
Yeah.
But so here's the big change in school this year at the high school level is obviously cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
And the cell phones have to be out of possession during education time, but they can have them during school during the change of classes.
Yeah, like transition.
in transition
times.
time, non-teaching time.
Right.
So, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, we have to follow it because, you know,
It is a state law.
right?
Right?
It is a state law. You know, I think, you know, the students are getting used to it, and they're getting into the routine. You know, it required a lot of, you know, cell phone policing
Yeah,
starting out
I know
into
that.
the hallways and stuff. So, but I mean, I understand that.
I read a study, and I sent it out to everybody about the cell phones, was that it was a 2-year study in Arizona where they had done that, and that test scores went up 22 to 25%. And here's the big one, discipline dropped 70%. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And I looked, and I'm about 68% down, which is pretty much matches it. So if these test scores, knock on wood, can do what that average has done, that's going to be fantastic.
Well, hang on. Let me get rid of my cell phone now, okay? I got to get rid of my cell phone. All right, you're making me feel guilty. All right, talk about this school district. We're out here. I always, you know, refer to the small school out in the middle of the cornfields. You know, let's talk about some of the challenges as a school district out here in a rural area that you could face as a superintendent.
I think one of the things is, but the corporation has done a nice job with sharing resources.
Okay.
And I think just keeping and maintaining those relationships with other area schools that, you know, in some ways we're not in competition, and maybe for football, but there are some things that
there's rivalries
yes,
out there.
but there are also a lot of ways that we can help each other, and so I think, you know, that is both a benefit and a challenge.
Do you have conversations like it's with the administrative staff at Centerville or Hagerstown? There are a lot of commonalities. They are
Yes.
small. Richmond's
Yes.
a city school,
Right.
bigger school, bigger budgets, bigger everything. So
Yeah, so I meet with all of the area superintendents on a monthly basis, and just so you know, those meetings are hosted at Northeastern.
okay.
Oh, good. So, with with everybody, budgets, money, and I understand that the state has cut back about every school corporation some funding, and how's that affecting, what we're doing here?
Well, we have a balanced budget. In October, we'll be approving a new budget for the corporation. So, but we have to be mindful about everything that we do. We don't want students and teachers, to go without. We want them to be adequately compensated. But we do, take into consideration any changes that need to be made
Yeah,
from a financial standpoint.
Well, in education, everywhere, money's always an object. It's always going to be an issue. Okay, and I guess you do the best with what you got, and that's the best you can do. All right. So, what are you got some goals that for this school district that you're willing to put out there for us? And
Yeah,
new auditorium, new football field, new lights on the field.
Like I said, that's a nice follow-up to the budget question. But yeah,
It's not in the budget.
We have to be a little conservative on some things. But yeah, really at this point, so we always talk about belong, grow, contribute, but it's really about just practicing what we preach. Right now. It's just having communication with staff, with students, with community members, and trying to learn, what are those things that make Northeastern? What do we hold sacred that we want to continue and to hold on to? But then, what are the things that we would like to change? And so I've really enjoyed just, talking to people, hearing ideas. I got to spend some time with Brian Richmond. He gave me the whole rundown on archery. Very excited about that.
And you heard our talk about Brian.
Oh, I did. Super nice guy. So I'm really excited. I'm going to go to one of their archery practices. I'm a little rusty. It's been a while since I've shot a bow, but they're gonna give me a tutorial.
Well, the Nice Broadcasting Network might be there for that.
Okay.
And take a video. Remember, what we should do is have a shoot off between you and Rick.
Oh no, that's not what we want to do. Well, I will tell you. Let me give you a little preview with Brian. You're gonna find a well-run program. I mean, that's a good model program right there. He does a great job, as you heard earlier. We were bragging on
very
him,
excited about that.
and we'll have him on here at some point down the road because we always do. Anyways, all right. So you, as a superintendent, for people who don't know, you have a boss, right? Your boss is the school board. Okay. So how does that relationship work with the school board?
I think it's been a very supportive relationship so far, and I think when you ask the question about goals, it goes along with the school board too. I think right now my number one goal is just communication.
Right.
I think there can be a lot of misconceptions just when there's not adequate communication, and so that's what I'm trying to improve. And when decisions are made, they may not always be popular, but I at least want people to try to understand the why behind those decisions.
Yeah, transparency is always a good thing. The more information you can give, again, not everybody's going to be, you're the target, okay?
Right.
I mean, that's the way it goes. The boss or the superintendent, whoever's at the top of the chain can be a target, but open communication with not only the school board, but the teachers, the students, and, the parents, and transparency. This is what we're doing, and this is why we're doing it. And, listening, I'm sure, is part of that equation, a talent that you have to do that, because I'm assuming you get a call or two every week from somebody, somewhere, wants to speak to the superintendent. So anyways, do you have a desire? Okay, this is not looking down the road, all right? You've already said this is where you're at, this is where you want to be, but is there a part of you that wants to go back and get into that 8th grade teaching class, or maybe go to a school board? Is that always part of being a teacher? Because you've been a teacher at heart, now you're in administration. And
well, that's the best part about this job, is I can be in
Go wherever
elementary
you
one
want,
day,
right?
I can be in high school one day. But I think the important thing is to never forget where you came from, and to know that, I have been in those roles. And so, I just like to help and be supportive in any way I can.
Well, it seems as though our electric buses are doing pretty good in comparison to some other school corporations who's had some major, I shouldn't say major problems, but have had problems. But last year, when it was cold as could be, they were out there running. So what's your thoughts on the electric buses? Has that been a positive for us, or just sort of a status quo? It gets students from point A to point B, or?
Yeah, I think, if you're asking, would we ever switch to all electric buses? I think that there's a place, but I think we will still need both.
Yep.
Charging is an issue. I mean, it's not an issue charging here, but, when we look at field trips or athletic events and things like that, not every place is compatible. The chargers are not compatible to be able to
You
charge.
just
them.
can't pull the old bus up to
Right,
the Meyer
yeah.
and plug into the Tesla.
No, you cannot. So do they obviously serve a purpose, I think, with our daily routes, but, for some of our longer routes, field trips, athletics and stuff, we have to stay old school.
Jennifer, you been here for 4 years in the district, so it's not new to you. Has there been a learning period or a learning curve in your new role? First, you were going to be assistant superintendent, and that lasted all of 1 week. So, hey, nothing learned there. You had to jump right into the big role. Has there been a learning curve? But or your previous experience at Richmond High School, has that helped?
Yeah, it really hasn't been bad. It's been a lot just catching up, but there really isn't anything new that I haven't done before. I mean, the laws always change, but that's wherever you are. Some of the processes are a little different, even though the outcome may be the same, and so that's taken a little bit of learning. But like I said, I'm not here to make tons of changes overnight. I'm learning. Again, to see those things that we hold sacred, we want to keep the same, and the things that we want to change.
Keep the buses moving on time, right? We'll start with that.
Absolutely.
The bell's ringing.
Well, and you've been, let's talk elementary school for a second, and you've been over there on dismissal, and that is like the start of the NASCAR Bristol race. It is absolutely insane, but the thing is, in 15 minutes, it's empty. It's a ghost town.
There's got to be a method.
There's a flow.
Which is quite amazing.
Right, there's a flow to it, yeah.
There's a great flow to it. In 15 minutes, it's over. And a lot of our parents have figured out that, hey, why don't I just get there at a quarter till, and I just drive up and pick up, and we're going. But it's amazing that the thought process that we took to get into it, and people are following it, and it's working. So congratulations everybody out there for following the rules and doing what you should. But yeah, that is an absolute. The first day I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like driving down 27 at dismissal time. It's like it can be chaos, but
that combined with 18 buses.
Yeah. So, but like you say, there's a flow. Everything's got a flow.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get a little more specific if we could. We focus on extracurricular activities, mostly sports, because those are most of the extracurricular activities. In your opinion, and not just basketball, football, but some of the what might be called minor sports, but also band, choir. Those are things that we're dealing with also. So what is your opinion on the value of those extracurricular activities?
Well, I think anything that a student can be involved in, is just great for a well-rounded student. Whether it's a sport or whether it's drama club, I think anything where students can feel included and involved. In talking again to Mr. Richmond, archery is a great
it's great,
sport. I mean, where and it's a club, but students that may not want to play football or basketball, but like that camaraderie and just the discipline, and I think the lessons that they come away with programs like that are very important.
All right, so are you going to be a fan? Will we see you in basketball season in the stands yelling at the referees, or obviously you're the superintendent? That's a joke, okay? But are you a fan? You're going to come to the...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I know you said you're a Bengals fan.
I'm a Bengals
all right,
fan.
So obviously you got some sports enthusiasm there,
Right. Yeah.
and so I guess we'll be looking forward to. We got some good teams around here.
Yeah.
We win sectional titles once in a while and go on, and so we'll look forward to seeing you out there on the court or in the field. Or
you'll see me all over. I played sports. I was in band. I have relatives that attend Northeastern, ranging from preschool to the high school, and so I go to their events as well.
Well, John Markwood has a reserved seat in the cheer block, okay? And there, chair block does get out of hand every once in a while, so that's his reserve seat. He gets that right over there.
But I'll tell you what, there's not a lot of schools that have a chair block like we do.
Yeah,
that
it's
show
very
up in force.
it's very enthusiastic.
It's
and,
fun.
and we promote that kind of stuff. And we like that. So.
I posted for any questions, and one question came in, only one question. And this question was, are we going to tear down the old scoring tower for baseball?
I don't know. Do we need to?
It probably does need to be.
It probably needs to be.
That's probably a trick question.
Yeah.
You just got here.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And I'll tell you, Dave Baker told me to ask you that. And Dave's like, that thing's got to come down. I said, I remember back in the day, sitting up there, the wind would blow and be doing this. So,
Well, he didn't ask me that at the last football game. He told me he needs more dirt, but he didn't tell me about the
he's
scoreboard.
being selfish.
yeah.
So
He needs dirt.
that's a tougher ask. So
Yeah.
he left
Okay,
it to
so
us.
Yeah, see, it makes
Okay.
me ask the hard question. So next week at the football game,
I'll be sure to touch base with him on Friday. And
All right, Dave.
probably watching it.
Dave, you've been put on notice. Superintendent.
Dave will be looking for you at the game.
There we go.
There we go.
Talking trash. I
That's
love
what I
this
like.
already.
Oh my goodness! I'll tell you what, we've been almost 25 minutes here.
And we could go on forever. This is how this works. We could go on forever. But appreciate you coming on.
Yes,
and just
thank you so much for having me.
Welcome to Northeastern. Appreciate you having here and the enthusiasm you bring. And, good luck with all that you put your hand to. And
Oh, I appreciate that.
again, we'll probably have you on again at some point.
Well, I hope so.
Yes, we will. So
Well, yeah, after
we're always begging for money too. So we know.
let her get her feet wet
Yeah,
and so
get your-
forth
yeah,
into things,
yeah.
and maybe in the spring have you back on, and
Okay.
you can have
And you
this
have a different
little
perspective.
wrap up and
Yeah.
perspective of some stuff. Well, Superintendent Jennifer Bryan, thank you for joining us.
thank
We
you.
appreciate you stopping in tonight. And when we come back, I think we're going to be talking a little bit of Knights football on Knightline Live.
From our trucks to their lunch trays, to your local hospital, to your favorite pub, and to your kitchen table. For more than 60 years, Dot Foods and Dot Transportation have been stocking the shelves of your hometown. Sure, we've grown a lot, but at our core, we're still small-town, family-run businesses that care about our communities and the people who keep us running. Join the Dot family today and be part of something bigger.
Being aligned with the Better Homes and Gardens brand brings with it a unique approach to identifying, marketing, and servicing distinctive homes. We know that your experience while buying and selling your home is as important as the homes being bought and sold. That's why our affiliated agents are passionate about personalizing every part of your real estate experience to ensure that every moment is distinctive.
In this market, finding a home you love and actually closing the deal is a cause for celebration. And it all starts with a competitive edge from First Financial Bank. We'll get you pre-qualified fast so you can get your offer in first. We even offer programs with low down payment options and reduced closing costs. Plus, our friendly local team is always here to help. A bank that's ready to help you find a home and a reason to celebrate, however you choose to. That's First.
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
L&S Lumber Hardware and Supplies in Greensfork. Walk into what a hardware store should be. Filled with Valspar paint, Red Ryder wagons, generators, old Milwaukee power tools, and DeWalt power tools. animal feed, lawn and garden supplies, make sure you ask about our pole barn packages, L&S lumber, hardware and supplies in Greens Fork. Welcome back to Knightline Live, and again, thank you, Superintendent Jennifer O'Brien, for stopping in. Rick, let's talk a little football.
Well, the Knights are 4-0, off to a good start this year. Good team. They got a very solid team. They're a lot of fun to watch, Jerry.
They're
really,
exciting.
Yeah, a lot of excitement, a lot of athletes. Maybe a little thin in numbers. We've said this before. So they're like any team. They can't afford injuries.
But I think most teams are this year. It seems like the numbers are down, and this might be just one of those anomalies that baby births were down back in that year.
Yeah, don't know what it is, but we'll here we are. But the Knights are 4-0. They're off to a very good start, and they're looking at this point. They went up to Lincoln and beat them soundly, so that brought them to 4-0. And I'll tell you another game that was of local interest. Winchester beat Centerville. So, as far as Tri-Eastern Conference standings go, that's helpful too.
That puts everything into, there conceivably could be a three-way tie.
Yeah, there could be. Now, obviously, the Knights are going to play Centerville in a couple weeks, but we'll get to that when we get there. But it's been, I think, widely accepted that it's been Centerville and Northeastern, and it looks like Winchester is going to be in the mix also for that Tri-Eastern Conference. And don't count out Tri. All right, honestly, we saw that juggernaut offensive unit out here a couple weeks ago,
and they're still putting points on the board.
Yeah, they're scoring like crazy because they have a lot of talent, But that's the four schools so far at this point in the season in the conference. But the Knights are right there. They're going to be right there. They're a good team. They got good skill players. They've got good linemen are the big thing here. Okay, to have an offensive line is a rarity in high school sports, and I think this is probably one of the best offensive lines since I've been following Northeastern sports. They're up there with a lot of these teams that we've had in the past. So, which brings me to my next point.
And you're going to bring that point, but before you get there,
go ahead.
Did you see that Purdue game?
I did not.
You did not.
I didn't watch it.
Where the defensive lineman had an interception.
Oh, you're kidding me.
75 yards from pay dirt, and all 365 pounds of him trucked all the way for the touchdown.
What a
and the only thing he had to say, oxygen.
That's a big body to be carrying that far down the field.
That leads into where you're heading.
Well, we had a lineman's dream.
Yeah.
Okay, Bryce Brittingham picked up the fumble and went down the sideline, probably 45 yards, something like that, and he scored a touchdown. Every lineman dreams of that. And I was telling you, I was there watching the game, Jerry. He was not going to just jump on that ball.
No.
This wasn't, there's the ball, I'm just going to jump on it. No. I'm going to pick that thing up, and I'm going to run down the sideline. So congratulations, Bryce. Good job for you. And down the sideline he goes, and that was pay dirt for the lineman. One for the big guys.
One for the big guy.
So go ahead.
Did you? Now you were able to talk with him after the game.
Yes, I was. We did a Subway player at a game. Sometimes we do that at away games if I'm there. So we had a chance to talk with Bryce, and we talked about that play, okay, among other things. But Aiden, let's go to that and see what Bryce had to say. Well, here we are at Lincoln High School. The Knights just defeated the Lincoln Eagles resoundingly, and this is our Subway player of the game. Subway sandwich shops. We have 3 locations in Richmond and 1 in Hagerstown. There's a Subway sandwich shop near you. Subway, eat fresh, and this is a first right here. Our Subway player of the game is lineman Bryce Brittenham. Bryce, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, you know why you're here, man. I want to hear all about it. It's not often that we see the big guy out there getting on the ball. You weren't going to just jump on that ball. You were going to take it into the end zone. Talk about that play and how much fun was it for you?
Well, at first I missed the tackle, but then I saw Marsh hit him, and then Platt hit him, and the ball popped out. And I was like, "Oh my God!" And I want to go grab it. My knee locked up, and then I went off. I grabbed it and started running. And Harry laid a great block for me, and I ran down the sideline and scored a touchdown.
Yeah, it was a great block downfield, but you had speed out there. I saw the fire in those cleats going down the sideline. There was nothing stopping you on that play. All right, so talk about the team. We're 4-0. We got it going on all cylinders right now. Talk about the team tonight and going forward.
I think we played as a great team tonight. I mean, we started out a little slow, but as the score can tell, 89-0. But I think going forward, we got Union City, and then we got Centerville. Centerville's going to be a tough little competition for us.
Yeah, we did find out that Centerville lost to Winchester, so that's going to tighten things up in the conference. So who knows? You got a lot of football left. It's good to be 4-0.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's Bryce Brittenham. He has been your Subway Player of the Game.
Welcome back, and to say that Bryce was not excited about that would be an understatement.
It's a lineman's dream, They get in the end zone. Nobody knows who the linemen are. It's all the running backs, the quarterback, and all the stars. But you got to give a love. We've never had a lineman as a Subway Player of the Game, so we had a chance to do that, and maybe we'll have another chance down the road. You never know. So Jerry, as usual, Wes, no matter what, he's gracious.
Yep.
Coach Wes Oler is gracious enough to talk with us after the game, and he's usually got a lot of things to say. And so let's go ahead and see what Wes has to say. Aiden, go ahead and let's watch that. All right, we're back here at Lincoln High School. This is our First Financial Bank Coach's Comment. First Financial Bank over in Richmond. Brought to you by Beth Beatty. If you need a new mortgage or you need to rewrite an existing mortgage, go see Beth at First Financial Bank. And I'm here with Coach Wes Oler. And Wes, big score. So talk about this game a little bit, and then we'll ask you some other things.
Yeah. I thought we executed really well in the first quarter. We threw a lot in the first quarter. That was kind of the game plan, come in and work on some of our concepts and reading the defenses. And I thought Marshall did a really good job. I thought we ran a couple screens. We blocked those well. Then we ran a little bit more in the second quarter, and I thought our kids were executing those. They were blitzing a little bit, so we got some work on that up front and picking those up. They got to us once, forced our first turnover of the year.
Yeah.
So we had to regroup. I thought the defense was really good. That's the thing we talked about. Everybody just kind of doing their job, and not trying to do too much, and good things will happen. And I think we forced 4 or 5 turnovers and had a couple return touchdowns. And so I think the big thing was execute, limit penalties, and I think we did that for the most part.
Yeah, so you guys are now 4-0. Same 4-0 in the conference. We did find out that Winchester beat Centerville tonight. Not really a surprise. Winchester's a good team, so that's going to tighten things up as we go down the road. So talk about the coming next couple of weeks. Next week you got Union City at home. You never know what they're going to bring. So talk about that game.
Homecoming, which is always fun. There's always a lot of stuff going on, and kids got to kind of keep their heads down and stick to the task at hand. But they scored 28 on us last year. That was a kind of a wild game up there.
It was.
We scored a bunch in the second quarter, but they kept scoring with us. So our defense has to rise to the challenge. Their quarterback is really good. I know they're kind of low on numbers. I think they've had a couple injuries, but based on their scores, they're kind of hanging with some teams, and they're always good defensively. They've always got tough linebackers and kids that can tackle and take good angles. So we got to be ready to go, similar to this week, and we don't get any points just for showing up. We got to go out and execute, and
it does seem like when Union City does usually have at least a couple, 3 athletes out there, and they give you some trouble.
Yep.
All right, second half, you're able to get all your JV guys in. Well, you got some shifty guys back there. So talk about, I don't know who. Are you going to tell me who they are? Introduce them. 24.
Yeah.
Who's to talk about 24? And who is he, by the way?
Freshman Luke Billings.
Yeah.
And he looked really good. We struggled running it in between the tackles there early, but we found some space outside, and he made some good cuts. And the biggest thing I saw was our receivers were blocking downfield. And that's a big thing in our offense is 9 times out of 10, you're not getting the ball thrown to you. What are you doing those 9 times? You got to be blocking. You got to be taking good angles and blocking for your brothers. But then Olympus Yancey, sophomore, came in and
he's
ran the
number
ball
16,
really well.
right?
He's 16.
Okay,
yeah.
he's the other guy I wanted to ask you about.
And we've been trying to get him to be patient, running between the tackles, and he did. He had ripped a nice run right down the middle, and of course he's got some speed to the outside too. We just got to get him to carry the ball in the correct arm. But other than that, he's reading things well. He's learning fast. He's new to us this year. Moved over from Ohio, but he's a great kid, and we've got some good skill kids. And I told the line I was proud of them because early on, they're blitzing, and those are varsity kids they're playing against because they don't have kids to sub in. Those are their dudes. So they had to face them, and I thought they did a nice job.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Next week we'll see you at home against Union City, and we'll have that game on the Knights Broadcasting Network. Nate and Fletcher and I will be on the air probably about 6:45. All right. This has been the First Financial Bank Coach's Comment.
And welcome back. And again, Wes has a great time of talking about things. I think you might have cut him a little short last night.
Well, we could do these things. They'd last for 45 minutes when I'm talking with Wes. But, so he's always gracious enough. Win or lose, he's going to be chatting with us. By the way, we have a correction.
Uh-oh.
Okay? Just got a text from one of our
loyal listeners.
Loyal watchers.
Millions and millions of viewers.
We did have a lineman as a Subway player of the game at one time. It was Calvin Berhalter back a few years. Calvin, we all remember Calvin. And Calvin was our, if I remember, it was probably for defense for Calvin. But he went both ways. Yeah. So thanks for that. Thanks for that information for you guys watching out there. So appreciate that. But the record is correct.
Well, we were just testing our viewing audience, and you all did well. Happy Subway to you.
Yeah. So Knights play this Friday, home game against Union City. We'll have that on the Knights Broadcasting Network.
And it's also homecoming, so make sure you get here early, because parking is probably going to be at a premium.
Yeah.
And we want you at the game. But, hey, if you can't be at the game, or if you got someone living someplace else, hey, they can watch it on the Knights Broadcasting Network, IHSATV.org.
Yeah.
So, where are we heading to now?
We got to take a break.
Oh, we need to pay the bills.
We got to pay the bills.
And you're watching Knightline Live. Harmon sheds are custom built to your specifications and needs. But wait, there's more. Harmon sheds build privacy fences, decks for your pool, beautifully designed decks for all around your home, and detached pavilions. Let Joe and the crew do all the work, so all you need to do is relax.
We're dedicated to great results just for you. Johnson Chiropractic.
So I recommend Dr. Johnson all the time over the years. Many people have come to Dr. Johnson for my recommendations. And if people live 50 miles away and they tell us they have this problem and they're going to have an operation, we say, no, go see our chiropractor, Dr. Johnson.
We're dedicated to great results just for you. Johnson Chiropractic.
This is Rick Fletcher. When my car needs repair, I take it to 715 Sim Hargen Parkway in Richmond, home of Knuckle Busters. With their ASE certified technicians, why would you go anyplace else? They repair domestic and imports, air conditioners to Z-bars. Knuckle Busters Auto Repair. Call 765-488-1470 and tell them to go Knights!
We would love to invite you to Life Spring Students, our youth group at Life Spring Church that is just south of Northeastern on 27. We meet from 7 to 8:30 on most Thursdays, but the doors open at 6:30. You can grab some pizza or a snack from our cafe and then hang out with your friends until 7 p.m. At 7, Our student band leads us in some worship through music, and we have a lesson from God's Word, the Bible. We then split into small groups based on grade and gender to apply what we have learned and pray with one another. Find out more at lifespring.tv/students.
Martin's Country Mart, US 27 Fountain City. Swing in and grab a coffee or a frazzle, maybe a fountain drink at Martin's Country Mart. We also have all your favorite snacks, bottled drinks, and of course, sweet bakery items. Plenty of accessories for dinner. And don't forget the grill menu, covering lunch, dinner, and of course, the kids' favorite, pizza. Martin's Country Mart, Fountain City.
When it comes to your home, you don't just want the job done. You want it done right. At Nate Lee Remodel and Restoration, we believe your space deserves craftsmanship you can trust at a price that makes sense.
From remodeling and restoration to custom trim work, interior painting, interior and exterior doors, or even that deck you've always wanted, every project is handled with care, attention to detail, and a personal touch. Call Nate Lee Remodel and Restoration, where quality meets character.
Holistic financial services and professional advice to help you manage and preserve your assets. Welcome to Private Wealth Management at Old National. Here, we provide financial planning and investment strategies from Old National Wealth Advisors and premier banking services from Old National Private Banking to help you plan for and tackle your broader financial needs. It's time to explore Private Wealth Management at Old National. Learn more at oldnational.com/private.
Your school helps shape the person you become, opening your mind to new ideas and belonging to a community. Whether it's earning an advanced degree, joining the FFA, pushing your health and wellness, playing in the band, or playing on the field. It's a safe place where everyone knows your name, and a kid can be a kid. The halls of today filled with the leaders of tomorrow. Northeastern.
You've had a hard day at work and all you want to do is sit in your lounge chair in the nice cool air? Then it hits! The AC's not working. The living room feels like the Sahara Desert. Call Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. In just a short time, it'll be nice and cool. And then all you'll need is a sign that says, "No penguins allowed." Call 765-966-0994. Reynolds Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Proud sponsors of the Knights. Did someone say boom, baby? Call Scoretti Pyrotechnics at 765-977-2757. Scoretti Pyrotechnics has performances for birthdays, weddings, school athletic events, other occasions, and of course, the 4th of July. Scoretti Pyrotechnics are proud supporters of Knights Athletics. Boom, baby! Smith, McQuiston, and Webster Funeral Home has proudly served the Fountain City area since 1886. From the time you walk up the steps, Funeral Director Keith Webster's goal is to carry forward the legacy of personal service established by the Smith and McQuiston families. Using modern technology and good old-fashioned attention to detail, we will strive to earn your confidence in us by treating families the way we think we would want to be treated. Smith, McQuiston, Webster Funeral Home. Rick, thank goodness somebody called time out because I am hungry.
I'm starved, Jerry. Hey, with 3 different Richmond locations and 1 in Hagerstown, here's a Subway sandwich shop near you.
And you can always order off the app for curbside pickup. The drive-thru's always open, and the way that I prefer it, I just like to walk in.
Here's your sub.
Listen, Subway, eat fresh.
Go Knights!
Welcome back to Nightline Live. And Rick, we just got hot off the press that the TEC girls golf was today.
Okay.
And Ava Bales, Julia Beatty, and Macy Oler all qualified as all TEC. So congratulations to them.
Well, congratulations, ladies. Second place in the Tri-Eastern Conference.
Yep.
Good showing by
Yep,
the Lady Knights.
absolutely.
All right, speaking of Lady Knights volleyball team, 11-2.
Yep.
They went 2-0 last week, Jerry. And they played Blue River and handled them like you thought
Yep.
they should.
Yep.
Then they played Seton. Traditionally, Seton is a very good team, okay? Maybe not quite this year up to what they've been in the past, but you and I talked. We thought they played their best volleyball of the year against Seton.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. And Seton last year had the Van Fleet girl, which was super. And I looked at her stats, and she went to Cleveland State playing volleyball up there, Division I, and she is leading Cleveland State's volleyball team in kills by 22 over the next closest person.
Wow.
So congratulations to that. But like you said, Seton is always a thorn in the Knights' side.
Yeah, they
it's always
are.
a tough match.
They're well run, small school,
Yeah.
well run. Always have a good volleyball team, and I thought the ladies played. Again, they just seemed. I mean, you're a coach,
Yeah.
okay, and you look at it as a coach. So you tell us what you thought of that Seton game.
Well, I think I called it. It was going to be a fast start.
Yeah.
And it was a fast start, and then we slowed up at the end, and I said the second set's going to be close, and it was.
Yeah.
And then I said the third set it won't be a contest.
Domination, and
it was.
And it went just like you said it would.
And just like that. And it's funny how you can see volleyball do that. But this team is exciting. They're fun to watch. And as we talked to Coach Whistle after the game, which we apologize for some sort of glitch, and we lost internet just for that snap of a second. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
But Coach Whistle talked about that they got away from some things in that second set that they did in the first and the third set.
Yeah, but this week's a big week for the Lady Knights. A lot of stuff on the line here. Starting tonight, right now they're in the middle of a match at South Adams. Do we have an update on that? I know you've been
I want
texting.
to check here real quick and see if we have an update on that. And in that first set tonight, the
Starfires.
The Starfires, which is a car, so everybody knows that's a car. They lost the first set 25-19, which I think you have to be pretty happy with that. Now the second set currently, as of about a minute ago, was tied at 20.
All right, so you're in the set. This is big for the Lady Knights. If they can knock off this team, the confidence will be sky high because tomorrow night, Jerry, they go play Winchester, and we know how Winchester is.
And Winchester could be a buzzsaw.
Yeah.
I mean, they are nothing to take lightly. They are a real good volleyball team. They did they go to semi-state last year?
They went to they won the regional, went to semi-state, and they're solid. I mean,
they got a nice ball club.
Yeah, we saw them in sectionals last year. That's when they started coming together. Really, or at least as far as we know, and they pretty much dominated the sectional. And they're going to be a threat. If the Knights are going to win the conference championship, tomorrow night's a big match for them at Winchester.
And the sectional, they're going to have to play Winchester.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But we'll see how this match goes. Won't be done before we get off the air here. But anyways, good start for the Lady Knights. They're 11-2. We'll have the game on Thursday at home against Union County, another conference foe. And so we'll be here on air,
about 5:55.
Yeah, something like that.
In that ballpark, and then we'll have you bringing the JV and the varsity matchup, and we sure hope for everybody to join us.
Come on out, let's fill the cheer block.
And I think
we're done.
I think we're done. So we went over just a few minutes. We do apologize for that. Monday Night Football will be coming on, so we want you to change your TV sets over and go to that. So for Rick Fletcher and Aiden Crane, our executive producer tonight, I'm